Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck? Get your ass on, boy.
How's it going, everyone? It's Eli with Common Sense, and I hope you are having a fantastic day. Real quick, before we begin the video, I'd like to thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. It means so much to me, and I just love interacting with all of you. You have made this little side hobby of mine so much more enjoyable, and I really enjoy making these videos for you. And I just want to give you guys a huge shout out and a huge thanks. So I just really appreciate you taking the time and just commenting and interacting. It really makes me feel like I have a connection with you as I'm putting out these videos. So again, I really appreciate it. So let's get started with the video. Today is a bit of a spring fragrance haul from TJ Maxx. So TJ Maxx is another one of my local rack stores. If you're from the UK, you've heard it as TK Maxx, but we're going to be going over 4 different fragrances that I picked up. So this first fragrance is actually one that I have been wearing all week, and I actually bought a second bottle of this one. It's just one of my favorite summer cheapies that I always recommend to beginners, or really anybody for that matter. This one is the epitome of vacation scents that really makes you feel like you're on a cruise. And I'm talking about Tommy Bahama's St. Barts. A lot of these Tommy Bahama fragrances you can find for around $20, basically year round. You can find them in almost every rack store, but this one is my favorite. Whew. So you have a super refreshing sparkling lime and trade wind accord up top, with guava, blue agave, tequila, and sea vine accords in the middle, and a base of vanilla, palmwood, and volcano musk. So they definitely got really creative with these kind of note breakdowns and the accords that they mention on the website. Honestly, some of these are a little bit of a stretch, but boiled down, you have a really pleasing lime, tequila, and sea salt. Man, this one is just a party in a bottle. You have a very heavy lime up top and a real bright and kind of super salty and bittersweet salt and tequila vibe as well. It smells and feels really cooling on the skin, and it just hits the spot in the high heat. Ultra tropical and fruity from the guava, the sea notes, and that lime. But honestly, this one is just, it kind of reminds me of a cruise ship or a hotel that you find like on the Pacific coast. It's just really refreshing, tropical, fruity, and it feels like a tropical getaway. This is the perfect weekender fragrance. Last Saturday, I went to go wash my car. I had absolutely nothing on my agenda. I took it slow, and I just picked this one up and I sprayed it all over myself, and it just made my day all that much better. Sadly, this one is an eau de cologne, so performance is not going to be a beast. It's decent. It's around 3 to 4 hours of projection before it sticks real close to your skin, but my solution, just spray it all day. I usually will spray around 6 sprays on myself in the morning, probably several more at lunch, around 5 or 6 more in the evening, and it just covers me all day. So you might be saying, that sounds a little bit wasteful, maybe not worth it, but for $20, you can find it at almost every single rack store nearly all year round. I don't feel bad about just dousing myself in this stuff. Plus, it just smells so damn good that you'll want to practically bathe yourself in this stuff. This is one of the best cheapies for the summer and springtime at around $20 for 100 ml, and that one is Tommy Bahama's St. Barts. So the next fragrance I'm talking about doesn't have a box. I technically didn't buy it today. I saved myself an extra 20 bucks because I bought it about a month or so ago and I just never reviewed it. So I thought I'd just throw it into this list because I would have bought it here if I didn't already own it. And I just threw out the box because I needed to save some space. But I'm talking about Banana Republic's Cypress Cedar. This one is part of the Icon collection, which honestly, I have 3 more to review. Every time I see one of these on the racks, I always just pick them up because for most of the time, they always come out with really nice, clean and musky scents. And most of the time, I'm not really let down and they are pretty dang solid for the price. Really nice sprayer and it has a nice kind of heavy, kind of metallic cap that clicks onto the place. This one you have top notes of pink pepper, mint, and bitter orange with middle notes of rhubarb, pink peppercorn, and cedarwood, and a base of vetiver, cypress, patchouli, moss, and musk. So super orangey, citrusy up top, just kind of like the original Terre de Hermes. It almost gives off at the same time a little bit of an Aventus vibe. So it has a little bit of that smoky Aventus vibe, but there is no smoke or incense listed, but in this case that vetiver is kind of what's coming off as a little bit earthy and smoky because it can kind of change depending on how they blend it with some of the other notes. So yeah, imagine Terre de Hermes and Creed Aventus, but with a little bit more of a green feel from that mint and the cypress. Also, that mint and orange combination here is super pleasing and it makes it really, really fresh while having quite a bit of warmth and body. So the cypress really shines off here, kind of giving off that sort of dusty, dry and earthy kind of wooden quality. But also I really, really like the rhubarb and the peppers here. It just kind of makes it a little bit more tart and a little bit spicy. Yeah, the peppers, the vetiver and the rhubarb, that little bit of spice, it really complements each other and it sort of makes it smell classy and perfect for any age, but slightly leaning towards somebody in their young adulthood, maybe in their 20s to 40s, I would imagine. So on the dry down, you do lose some of that citrus punch, but it becomes a little bit more soft and citrusy with a little bit more of a green vibe. It's still really fresh and citrusy with nice kind of earthiness to it as well. This one is an eau de parfum concentration at 2.5 ounces or around 75 ml, and it lasts quite a long time on my skin. I get around 6 to 8 hours on me and it projects quite heavily for the first couple of hours. Definitely more of a masculine kind of vibe here from these certain accords and notes, but honestly, if you like a smoky wood and a sweet citrus, then this one you may just want to pick up, and it's an absolute steal for 20, 25 bucks or however much you can pick it up. As long as it's under like 30 bucks, it is so worth it. And that one is Banana Republic's Cypress Cedar. So this next fragrance is from a sort of lesser known fragrance company. It's a little bit of a cheaper one, some of those $12 to like $15 fragrances that you'll find at your local rack stores. This one is Cuts Nero from the Portola collection. This one's got a really unique bottle. It sort of has a wrap around it. It's kind of got that texture marbled look with a little bit of gold on it. You have that gold label as well on the front. But what I kind of like about this is it kind of stands out. It looks really similar to some of the Roja bottles or the M. Micallef fragrance bottles. This one isn't eau de cologne, but it does actually last a little bit longer than I had imagined. This one, there's no notes listed anywhere, so we're just gonna be going off the nose for this one today. So actually a pretty dang strong atomizer. And okay, this one I'm definitely getting something real familiar. It smells super, super similar to Terre de Hermes, kind of just like the last one, but a little bit more leaning towards that kind of Cedrat Boisé feel, which is really kind of incense and that citrus heavy take on Creed Aventus. So really, really strong musk here and amber with this one, but honestly, you also have a really nice dose of patchouli in here. Again, it smells really similar to Cypress Cedar, but I feel like there's a little bit more of a unique ambroxan or isoe super accord here that kind of keeps it smelling real musky and mineralic. I feel like there could also be a little bit of pear or some sort of kind of metallic, juicy, and kind of slightly effervescent and floral vibe up top. Not as much pepper as Cypress Cedar, but still has a little bit that kind of pops in every now and then. So citrus and vetiver are still really noticeable here, and I feel like in the dry down you get a little bit more of an herbal facet. Not quite sure what it is, maybe a cypress or some sort of heady kind of synthetic molecule that they're using. It's still really solid, and since this one is an eau de cologne, you're not gonna get enormous projection or longevity with it, but on me it lasts well over 4 to 5 hours, and it does project quite strong for the first like 3 hours, but then it calms down and becomes a little bit more of a skin scent. Honestly, this one is great to keep in your car or gym bag if you want something similar to Tour de Hermes or Cedrat Boisé. A little bit more citrusy, incensey take on that Aventus Cedrat Boisé kind of clone. But this one is a great cheapie from one of those kind of unknown or on the down low fragrance brands that are definitely affordable at around, I think it was $15. I took off the label. This is a fantastic deal at $15 for an eau de cologne. Again, you can just spray yourself multiple times through the day. It's cheap enough as it is. For 15 bucks, you can spray yourself and not feel guilty about dousing yourself in it. Pro tip, don't spend $40 on this fragrance from eBay. Not gonna name any people. There are multiple sellers out there who will just buy as many of these cheap, affordable fragrances and mark up the price by like 200, 300%. And it just blows my mind that people pay that price for this. But I guess if you don't know that you can get these for 15 bucks or so, and if the photos are taken nice enough, then maybe I can see how they would pick it up. But definitely a steal for $15. So that one is Cuts Nero from the Portola collection. So this next fragrance I've never heard of before. The box really caught my eye and it looks like a quite expensive fragrance. At least I feel like it could have been one of the like $60 to $80 fragrances at Sephora, but this one is Memoirs by the Sea. As you can see, this one is $13 for a full 100 ml, and this one is classified as an eau de parfum. We'll see how strong that is. I also thought I'd mention that on this box, it says the fragrance oil is cruelty-free, vegan, paraben, sulfate-free, and non-GMO. So definitely I feel like they're going for a more environmental and eco-friendly vibe with this packaging and the presentation. So gotta give them a few points for that too. And here you have the bottle. It's a really nice kind of rectangular look with sort of a cheap cap on the top. Not the worst. I've seen cheaper. So this one, it says that it has notes of sunny dune, mandarin peel, and magnolia blossom. Those are the only 3 notes that are included on this fragrance. Really nice atomizer. That one actually puts it quite far out. Ooh, I'm really digging this one. This one, you have a really sweet and kind of aquatic vibe up top, and you get a little bit of a citrusy floral vibe from the magnolia here. It smells really nice and kind of reminds me of the Pacific coast, maybe somewhere around like Monterey Bay or somewhere along that Pacific coast. So magnolia can also be quite sparkling, effervescent, and fruity, almost a little bit like champagne or a cocktail. It's super lightweight and with a touch of a little bit of sour citrus here that gives it quite a bit of warmth. So funny enough, on the topic of warmth, Fragrantica mentions that there's a solar note in here, which is a little bit odd. I mean, all that means is it's just real bright and warm smelling. It's really cool how they kind of capture that sandy, kind of dusty vibe with this. It's a little bit mineralic with a touch of salty air. It's just super clean and soapy smelling with a nice watery kind of vibe, almost like a really natural shampoo or a hair product. It just smells really, really interesting. So with a name like By the Sea, I would imagine that it would be a little bit more pungent, maybe seaweed-like, but they don't take that approach here. It's more clean. It's just an airy kind of oceanic fragrance vibe here. They just really make it mass-pleasing and sort of fit for the office as well. Definitely a happy kind of mood-boosting fragrance. It's pleasing, but it's nothing super unique. There's plenty out there that kind of captures the same vibe. It does kind of remind me a little bit of Clinique Happy for women, and also people have also said that it reminds them of Tommy Girl. So longevity is not very good on this one. I tested this on my skin. After about 2 hours, it sits really close to the skin, and I mean, I can still kind of smell it after around 4 to 5 hours, but really it lasts around 2 hours or so projecting, and then it sits real close to the skin. You kind of have to stick your nose up in your hand. But I did only spray a few sprays of this on my wrist. I didn't go crazy like you might want to do, especially in this kind of hotter weather. So, you know, your mileage may vary depending on how much you spray and your skin chemistry and all that. But honestly, for $13, I think this one is definitely worth it. It's kind of a dumb reach fragrance if you want to smell good for a couple hours. It's really fresh, aquatic, and kind of shares some of that sandy dune vibe. It just smells really, really kind of nostalgic. And that's what they went for with this fragrance line. I kind of dig what they're going for here. So I think I like this one, especially for $13. And that one is Memoire by the Sea. Thank you all so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I'm actually going to be giving away your choice of one of the fragrances from this video. So all you have to do is leave a comment down below which fragrance you would like to receive in the mail. And if I pick you, and I'll get that sent over to you. So put down in the comments which one of these you would like to receive and why. So thank you so much for watching the video. I have been Eli with Common Sense, and until next time, bye-bye. I have sprayed so much of this, I feel like I can taste it. That's, I don't know if that's a good thing, but it smells good. Damn.